What's good, YouTube? It's Rick Foxkid here, and I've got a deck profile for Mermail under the April 2014 ban list for the TCG. I spent the past few days since the ban list was announced just deciding how I was going to approach Mermail, because as you know, the only hit that happened was Abyss Gunde going to 1, and on paper it doesn't seem that bad because you can still search and loop gun very easily with Pike and Turge. But I honestly feel that the combo is too fragile now to base the entire deck on it. Like, I don't think the rank 4 deck is that good. I could be wrong, but my reasoning for it is there's nothing wrong with the consistency of that build. It's still very easy to get a Gunde in hand and then loop it with Pike and Turge. But the problem is if something happens to that Gunde, if it gets banished or just something causes you to not have it for the rest of the game, more than likely it would be banished. And then the entire deck just falls apart. Now, this wouldn't be as much of a problem in Game 1, but it worries me Game 2 and 3 when DD Crow and Debunk become common silence, or at least I would expect them to be common silence. So with that being said, I decided to go back to one of the earlier pre-Hoban builds, which is not focused on the rank 4s and puts more focus on the big Mermails and just the deck's versatility and it being able to do a lot. So that's where I went with that. I've tested a bunch of different things. I've tested that. I did test rank 4, and honestly I just didn't like it anymore, and it just felt too linear to me. I also tested Gen X, which I felt was too slow, and also just drawing control sucks. So yeah, this is what I've got so far. I more or less like it, so yeah, let's get into it. So I think there's 25 monsters, 6 spells, and 9 traps, and the monsters are 1 lead, 3 Megalo. There's a lot of debate on whether people should run 2 or 3 Megalo. I like 3 just because opening with it is really nice. You get that double pop with Atlanteans or whatever, and then you get the search for Sphere. And also just running the 3 Megalo and the 1 lead, that gives you 4 reliable targets for Sphere, because in this build, the big Mermails are probably going to be your main targets for Sphere. And with 3 Sphere, having 4 targets just makes sure that if you draw 1, then the other automatically waste 1 Sphere. And just stuff like that. There's a bunch of reasons I like 3 Megalo, even though it is kind of bad to draw mid to late game. Ideally, it shouldn't be in your deck mid to late game. That's my theory on it. 3 Teo is still one of the best cards in the deck. 1 Gunde because she got limited, which is very sad, but builds before the rank 4 ones didn't put a lot of focus on Gunde. She was just kind of there because she was pretty good. So yeah. 3 Linde, still a key searcher in the deck. 3 Pike. I still want 1 Turge because it's keeps the loop possible and also allows you to recycle Gunde if something happens to her, like you have to use her for something else. And then yeah, and just I don't think more than 1's needed. Like even in the even if I were to continue rank 4, I'd consider only 1 Turge, because with Gunde Limited, you can't start the Pike Turge loop with Turge, because you'd have to have multiple Gundes in the deck, because you would have to discard 1 to get a card back and then search with Pike for a second Gunde, which is impossible because card's limited. And then if you weren't to search with Pike, you would have to grab a second Gunde for her to even go off. So no matter what, starting the loop with Turge is now impossible. So you only really need that 1. And that's all the Mermails. For the Atlanteans, it's 1 Dragoons, and I max out Infantry and Marksman. In the past, I would have considered cutting at least 1 of them to 2, maybe keep 3 Marksman and cut Infantry even to 1. But with Gunde Limited, the deck's really running out of discard fodder. Like the problem that Mermail is starting to hit in the TCG with all the hits is that it's not running out of discard outlets, because it's still got plenty of that. It's still got all the Megalos, all the Teuses, all the Pikes, and all that stuff. The problem is that they're running out of discard fodder, because Dragoons and Gunde have both been hit to 1. Those are probably the 2 best discard fodder in the deck. So now it's like, I honestly feel like resorting to Marksman and Infantry is a little important, even if their effects aren't that great. Like, Marksman most of the time gets chain 2, and then Infantry just sometimes there's not enough things worth popping, and it's either way they're pretty much the best we've got now. So If anything, that's why I feel like I should run 3. And then I run 1 Diva just because she's nice to go into Armades, and Armades is helpful in the Bujin matchup because it stops them from using Crane. And Bujin is probably one of the harder matchups we have. And it forces them to use hair before you attack. So if they're stupid and don't do that, then they can't even protect it with hair. But the main thing about it is that Armades, you can make Black Rose with it also. And it's a nice thing to search out Dragoons if you have no better choice. And last resort, she's Armored Kappa. So I just like that she's a little versatile. I'm not entirely sold on her, but I'm testing her for now. I'm also testing Fishboard Archer, mainly because it's another level 3 discard outlet. Just something to search with Pike if you're late game and you're running out of things to search. Because it's like the monsters to search are marksman, 3 marksman, 1 Gunde, and ideally you don't want to search Linde, but you can. So Fishboard Archer is just another thing to search that gives you more level 3s to find. And Title, because Title's too good. And that's the monster lineup. The spell lineup is 3 MST and 3 Upstart. I actually don't run Reckless in this build. I'm trying to see what it goes like without it. I could put it back in. My reason is just this build, to me, just feels less combo-oriented than the rank 4 build did. That one was really big on the Pike Turge combo. Whereas this one is just kind of versatile and does a lot of different things out of a bunch of different hands. So I feel like it's got its combos, but it doesn't rely on them. Therefore, I don't think the deck really needs Reckless. However, Upstarts are still really good because, like, why wouldn't you run 37 cards? And this helps you just get to your pieces a lot quicker, or just especially because we got so many cards that are limited now between Diva and Dragoons and Gund, and stuff like that. So I still think Upstart is really good. Yeah, and then the traps are 3 Sphere, 1 Squall gives you a late game power, Bottomless, Solemn Torrential, and then 2 Breakthrough Skill. And yeah. And that's the main deck. For the extra deck, we have, for rank 7s, there's Gaios, True Dragosac, and Big Eye. Rank 4s, again, I don't have Exodus or Shark, otherwise I would be in here, but I have Dweller, Bahamut Shark, Revolval Chain, and Diamond Direwolf and Maestroke. These would probably be Exodus and Shark if I had them. And then 2 Trite for Bahamut Shark. Considered cutting it to 1, I just don't know what I'd put in this place. So for now I'm still running 2, and Armored Kappa, just an option for Diva. Like if you get hit by something you want to get rid of, or like game 2 you get hit by a D-Fissure or whatever, you can play Diva, go into Armored Kappa, detach the infantry, and pop the Fissure. And then I run 3 Synchros in there, Leo, Black Rose, and Armades. Armades is obviously for Diva. Black Rose can work with Diva or Fishborg, because you can end phase Pike into Fishborg and then summon Fishborg and wipe, or you can just like pitch Gun for Fishborg, bring back Turge, put Gun in your hand, then wipe with Black Rose. And then, or you can Diva Infantry Marksman. And then Leo's mainly just for Fishborg, because you can Fishborg and then bring back Tidal or one of the big Mermails and then make Leo. So part of the reason I didn't like Leo or didn't like Fishborg in the past is because we didn't have a level 10 synchro. Now that there's Leo, I feel like Fishborg is a little better, but it's still, I mainly threw it in as filler, but it might go somewhere. And then my side, I don't know if I've ever done this in one of my deck profiles, but an idea I got in the past was to not use any floodgates, mainly just because although they're really powerful, they're a little unreliable, because like 1 MST just like releases everything you were holding back. So for my side, at least for now, I'm just running a bunch of cards that counter specific decks, but don't really hold them back. It just counters other player theirs. So DD Crow is mainly for Hieratic, although depending on what the ruling is at whatever event, I could side it against Mermail also, just because that ruling's up in the air about how it works with the Atlanteans. Valor is mainly for Spellbook, although I guess I would consider it against Geargia. 3 Max C for Mirror and for Hieratic. 2 creature swap. This is mainly for Bujin and Noble Knight. Bujin is picking up steam and will probably get more popular because of the hits hitting down Fire Fist and Mermail. And Bujin's definitely probably one of the deck's harder matchups, so creature swap can just get around Hare and Turtle. And then it just deals with Noble Knights, just take their Artorigus and win the game.
Debunk is for the mirror, for Hieratic Ruler, for Dragon Ruler, because that's probably gonna pick up steam too. There's a bunch of stuff. Mind Crush is mainly for spellbook, just anything that searches, and then Overworked is for Fire Fist and Harpies. Would side against Bujin if hair wasn't a thing now.
And yeah, that's the whole deck. I haven't had a lot of time to test it, or a lot of just people to play with. Maybe I'll get that sometime soon, but I've been mainly just testing online, which isn't a lot. But test hands, it's pretty much working pretty well. Uh, but yeah, I mean, the gun limit just stopped the rank 4 build from being really good, and just the other versions of Mermail are still definitely around. So yeah, if something else, some better build proves itself to be it, then I guess this isn't that good. But so far, it's working for me. So yeah, I'll probably have more deck profiles up soon. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and see ya. This is.